Thank you very much for being here. I know that there is a lot of really cool speakers and a lot of really cool sessions going on along all the different stages that we have here today. The fact that you chose to be here with us means a lot to us, so thank you very much for being here. Now I'm going to introduce you to our next speaker. His name is Ben Costantini, and he is the CEO of Startup Sesame and the curator at Symposium Stockholm. Please give a big warm welcome to our next speaker, Ben Costantini.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Very happy to be here in Beirut. Can you tell me and raise your hand if you're a founder of a startup, please? Just raise your hands. Okay, and who among you, keep your hand raised, has been at an international conference? Okay, so this presentation is really targeted to those three of you in the room, but I hope that the learnings will be useful for everybody else. So it's about how you can hack tech events. Yeah, as you can see, I'm Ben. You can find me on Twitter under Objective Arte, and I love to take selfies with web celebrities. This series is from South by Southwest, and what I've been doing for the past 6 years is organize tech conferences myself, curate content, panels, speakers, stuff like that. And for the year or so, I've been working on a very exciting project called Startup Sesame. And with two more co-founders, we created what is today the largest alliance of tech events in Europe. And what we do, in a nutshell, is select the most interesting startups in Europe and help them grow internationally by attending the right events at the right time. We do that with 15 events right now. And hopefully next year, there is another event joining us. Can you please move to the slides? This one here in Beirut. I wrote an article a year ago called 5 Ways Events Help Startups Grow, and I wanted to understand how tech events like this one can do a better job and can help better entrepreneurs, especially with one key thing, that is international growth. Can you move to the next one, please? International growth and events, that's something that I'm very interested about. I think that if you're doing, if you want to go internationally, you have to attend events. That's something like a no-brainer for entrepreneurs. And what we do to understand better what is the value of events, we have those forums where you can actually give feedback about this conference. So if you want to share some information with us and help us improve events and the value of events, you can just go to Sesame Give. And if you have a question about an event, you can ask us and we can advise you on the value of that specific event. When we talk about the value of events, we have this idea of eventology. That will be the science around this. Well, actually, it doesn't really exist. We totally made this up. And we did this tool, like it's almost a game, a year ago. No, please go back. Yes, there is normally a video that is playing there, but of course it's not playing. So if you go there, you can rate events, up to 5 stars and say, what are your favorite events? And we have a live ranking. So if you go to eventologist.tech, you can play there and say what you think about Web Summit or stuff like that. It's okay, move on. To the next one, please. So there's no science of events, okay? Even though we're trying to figure it out. But there are people who are looking at it and want to understand what is the actual value of events, and there are social scientists doing this. And if you read this with me, there is a very nice definition of what this event is actually. Here what we are doing here during BDL Accelerate is, construct social networks. We are, recognizing accomplishments. We have startup awards. We are sharing and interpreting information. We are doing business. So all of that, if you think about it for just a couple seconds, means that you cannot go abroad to events without having an event strategy in place, without knowing the rules of networking. And I will share with you at the end of this talk my top 10 event hacks. So some tips that I've been using that some people around this industry shared with me that I think will be very useful here at that event, but hopefully at other conferences that we'll be attending in the future. So first of all, event strategy. One of the main problems with conferences is that people decide where to go based on word of mouth. Like 80% of the decision making is just what other people tell you. That's fine if you go to a movie, because you're going to spend $20 just a couple hours. But if you go to a tech conference, you're spending thousands of dollars, several days. So word of mouth is actually a problem. And as you can see in this series of tweets that Patty Cosgrave shared with me, you can see that word of mouth is not at all something solid, consistent. So you see this guy in 2013 is tweeting that it's the best conference in the world. And 2 years after, he's saying that it's a scam and that he was there last year. And it's all false. I mean, the guy is just lying. That is a real problem, and especially today where you see that there are more and more events. There's an exponential growth in the number of events, and the ROI is falling. And we're already after the point of no return. Last year, in 2015, in Europe only, you had 25,000 tech-related meetups and events, and over 500,000 people going there. It's growing, it's not stopping. So my question to you is, what is your event strategy? Do you actually have one? And in what we learned with Startup Sesame is that almost nobody has a real event strategy in place. So let's even startup founders when it's the first time they do it, but not investors, corporates. People just go there because they were invited to go, because someone told them that it was a good event. So there is nothing like a real event strategy. When we look at it, I mean, you can go to events for several reasons. It's important for you to figure out what is your main reason to go to that event. It could be for sales, it could be for biz dev, it could be to recruit people, to get press attention, to build your team, to do all sort of different things. You want to get funding, all of those. These are different reasons for you to go to events. And if you look at it and you really have a proper thinking, you will identify different type of events. I mean, this is our way to categorize them. There are like other ways to do it. So you have meetups, you have pitch competitions, you have trade shows. So trade shows is where you go and actually sell stuff, either to B2B clients or B2C. Mega conferences like Web Summit, Slush, those 10,000 attendee events. Leadership summits, smaller events like less than 1,000, usually quite expensive, invitation only. Think of DLD, stuff like that. Local events and meetups. And based on your strategy, you can see what events are more appropriate. So if you want to just go out and network, meet with partners, get your team together, well, probably a local event or a meetup will be enough. When you're to the point of getting traction, there's something missing. I'll go back. Okay, there is something failing in this slide. Whatever. Moving on. You want to attract influencers and media, you will go to leadership summits and pitching competitions. And then if you are ready to sell to consumers or to VCs, then you will tap into trade shows, mega conferences. Of course, this is just a way to categorize events, and it's all about more mixed together. But it gives you an idea that depending on your goal, if you know what is your goal, you can choose the event accordingly. Networking, key thing here, everybody is like doing networking, everybody's here to connect with more people. So some key information, B2B networking is not like Tinder. It's not the same type of thing. You can learn this, you can improve your craft, and you have to. So again, different types of networking, so you can get scheduled meetings that actually what you're supposed to do here, get meetings in advance. There are apps that you can use to get people, to meet people during the events. Investor meetings, they have the different rules when you get to one-to-one meetings, when you're going to pitch your company. Exhibitor networking, so when you go out there to the floor and get to meet people, other rules, other ways to do that. Dinners and parties, of course, here in Beirut, it's a great thing to do. And moving on to the next slide, you have to practice, you have to customize your pitch. It's not the same if you're doing exhibitor networking. When I run the floor, I give the startup 30 seconds to pitch their product to me, and I ask them for a business card, and that's it, and I want them to be able to pitch me this way, so you don't have 2 minutes to do it. I mean, if you start to overrun, I just move away. You have to learn English. I'm sorry, I'm not native English speaker, but it's really important to have a good level of English, and if people tell you that it's not important, they're lying to you. The next one is that you can give out your phone number, please. No, stay please, don't move that fast. Give out your phone number. The guy here is Robert Scoble. So he has like millions of followers, like millions of fans, and you can find his phone number on his public profile. So I don't know why it's so hard to connect with you guys, because you're not Robert Scoble, obviously, but I'm sure that it would be hard for me to get your phone number anywhere online. So if you're there to do business, you should definitely give out your phone number. Follow up, there is a lot of rules around this. If you want to do business, make sure that you follow up immediately on LinkedIn, for example, the very same day. In the 2-3 days after the event, proper email follow-up. Of course, you have to prioritize, maybe not to follow up with the 200 business card that you have, but there is strategy to put in place. Serendipitous networking, when you already know people, you go out and you get the opportunity to meet people through, unexpected connections. That's very good when you master your craft and you know how to do networking. You can rely on this type of serendipitous networking. And then international networking. Again, you can imagine the rules are different in the Nordics, in Western Europe, in Central. Here, there are different type of rules. You will probably need to learn them. My top 10 event hacks. And this is really like practical tips that I've learned, that I've used. Some of them were event organizers that shared those tips with me. Some of them are not really legal, but whatever, let's do it. The first one, start a blog. So you start a blog to get invited for free. You can do a fake blog. Trust me, it will be enough to get you in events that are not looking and double checking how much you are, a real journalist or a real blogger. And even some event organizers will appreciate the fact that you took the time to create that, and they will give you a free invitation as a press. Trust me, it works. Then for the bigger one, the one that are more expensive, they actually check out and you may not get in, but it won't be a problem for you. The next one would be to run the floor. As I was saying, I spend an hour to run the floor here. I won't spend more than that, but I do spend that time because I want to make sure that I grab as many contacts that I can for maybe my blog. Another one is the hotel next door. It doesn't really work here at the forum, but most of the conferences, they have an hotel, next to the venue. And this is where all the people you want to meet are located. They are there doing their meetings. So just please go outside the venue and go look for them, and you will see that a lot of people that you're looking for are staying there doing the meetings. Here in Beirut, this is probably like the speaker hotels. There are 3 of them, a lot of them, you can find them at those hotels. The next one would be to steal a wristband. Again, this one is not really useful here because we only have one wristband that is not really VIP oriented, but at many conferences they have different type of wristbands that give you different type of access. So if you're a speaker, if you're the exhibitor, if you're a VIP, there is different colors. It's like festivals, and according to your wristband you get access to different type of events, different type of parties. The guys on this picture over there, you can imagine that they stole the wristband to get access to the Nasdaq Green Belling. That's why they're so happy, because they were not supposed to be there. And the reason for them to get that wristband is because they give access to a VIP event in the evening that they wouldn't be able to do without that wristband. I can explain you how you can steal wristband in practicality afterward if you want. The next one will be hack the hashtag. So that's very basic. Twitter is almost useless today, but for events, it's useful. People are using it. There is a hashtag, BDL A16. So use the hashtag a week in advance already to engage, and then you will see, you will stand out. Basically, people will find you, and that's a very good way for you to maximize your ROI during these events. The next one will be how you manage the no business card situation. My problem going out to events is that people won't give me their business cards because I'm looking for the top speaker, top influencers. They'll be like, I don't have a business card. And I try to find a way to get that contact anyway, to put the foot in the door. This is something that you can do maybe just with the mobile app that gives you, the opportunity to show, okay, give me your email and you receive my contact information, whatever. Have something in place so that you don't be like, okay, that's fine, and you just move away without the contact of that person. Make sure that you get contact even if they don't have a business card. The next one is the niche media. It's a very, very important one. Like all tech events, they have a press list. So on this press list, you can get, the list of attending journalists, attending media, and instead of trying to get the guy from Forbes or Fortune magazine to listen to your pitch, just look at the one that is coming from India maybe, because this guy is not getting as much, request, but I could get you an interview or, a very interesting meeting, and press coverage internationally is always something good. Another one is squatting, and I love this one, and I practice this one, and I have like tons of tips to give you about this. You have to be able to get in the speaker lounge or the media lounge, and when you get in, you stay there and you meet the people there. And that's, it sounds like stupid, but this is one of the main hacks that you could use to network with people that you are looking to connect with. Here at BDLA, it's just over there, there's no control. You can go there and get to meet people. Other events, you have to be quite clever in terms of getting in, but it really works, especially if you're used to getting in, then you can use that skill of yours at tech conferences. Another tip would be to crash the party. I think it says everything, but basically, if you steal a wristband, if you manage to get yourself together with influential people, it would be easy for you to get in at those parties that are invitation only, no +1, super hard to get in. There are actually one tonight. Next one, get the mic. That's the last hack for you guys. Here at that event, I've seen how, you got the opportunity to ask questions and many panels, but people don't take that opportunity. No, it's so easy to just take the mic and say in like 10 seconds what you do and why you're relevant for other people in the room. So whether because you're an investor or because you're a startup doing something very interesting in AI or whatever, take the mic, that's the great opportunity for you to stand out. So these are my hacks. I would love to know about yours. And to finish this, because time's up, my conclusion is basically that you should look at events, find the right ones, build your event strategy, network like a pro, take risk. As you can see, it's a risky business. You have to hustle your ass off, and you can break all of those rules. If you want to give feedback, Sesame Ask, Sesame Give, really just go there. And the last slide, my contact info, my phone number. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben. That was an excellent presentation.